A month ago, I fixed 100 Game Boy games, and I attempted to fix a lot last year too. It's been a pretty rewarding challenge and just a fun series overall, despite being a little tedious sometimes. So of course I bought 100 Game Boy Advance games to do it all over again. Some of you may have already received them in orders because just like last time, these are free bonuses in GBA and SP orders while supplies last. But keep in mind, these are all Japanese, so some of them might be hard to play if you don't speak, or I guess read the language. At least they look really cool. Oh yeah, and if you're new here, I sell pre-modded Game Boys on my website, retroremaster.com, and I make them live on streams every Monday and Wednesday. They sell fast, so I recommend catching the streams live if you can. But for this video, I changed it up a bit from last time. Instead of testing them all, then cleaning and checking for batteries, I reversed the order and mushed it all into one section. It was a lot faster and didn't make my hands hurt nearly as much. And for those who wanted the last one to be a little bit longer, I tried to teach as much as I could in this one without making it too boring. I just don't want it to be long time lapses and I'm not good at editing to music. So let's just get to the good stuff. We're going to do it a little bit differently today. I'm going to take a game, unscrew it, open it up, see there's a stupid battery in there, clean all that up, put her back together, and see WarioWare's working great. Off to the side and off to the next one. Now, I'm going to do a bunch of them at once. This is going to take forever. I'll come back with fun facts, like with how this one has a motion sensor in it. I have no idea what this game is. But see, this game is extra dirty. I'm also a little worried with the blob. It might be a fake. I don't know how many of these games are faked. It's like the worst Mario game ever. Even then, it's still very dirty. So we're going to take our little tougher pen here. It's just a little tougher than a fiberglass pen. Just rough her up a little bit. And the pins are much nicer. Some of these have some dirt like this. We're still going to try and clean it up a little bit. Wario Land 4 works. Dang Monopoly doesn't work. Mario and Luigi works. This thing works. Mario Party Advance works. Fako game does not work. Oh, I don't know what that says. I'm guessing it's not good. It's a long and boring process. Sorry. That was 30 minutes of recording and we got through 8 games. We have 100. I'll see you at the next fun fact.
Just then.
Next fun fact. On the original Famicom games, they did them in these cool Famicom colors. The original Super Mario Bros. And whatever this game is. Let me know what this game is in the comments down below. And Mappy. I love Mappy.
One eternity later.
There's a bit of rust on this one. I don't really know why or how, but that's as clean as I can get it. Okay, Rusty Sonic doesn't want to boot, but it gets the Nintendo logo. Why does Crash look so creepy? This thing has another motion sensor. I believe it's Yoshi's something. It's got an accelerometer in it. It's also really dirty on the back. And then this one's odd. It's a totally different color from the regular Game Boy Advance games. I guess I shouldn't say totally. It's a lot darker. I'm very interested. Okay, I really don't know then because this doesn't have anything that makes it look like it's a IR game or anything. So I have no idea why this cartridge is black other than it looks cool. Let me know if you know in the comments down below. Yoshi's Universal Gravitation. Oh, and it works. That's sick. Pokemon Pinball. Kind of excited for that one. And time for the mystery game. What is it? Will it work? Is that Sailor Moon? I have no idea what this game is. Let me know in the comments down below. This one's quite dirty. I don't think One Piece is going to make it back in one piece. Dirty Boy works, even though it's a little chewed up. And shocker, Corroded Boy doesn't work. Yeah, that's not going to work. That is 100 Game Boy games tested. The nice thing about the Game Boy Advance games is most of them don't have batteries anymore. While I have about 90 games that are just good, they're working, they're cleaned. I only have 22 GBA games that need batteries, and I have 70 games that are just ready to rock. I don't have to do anything more to them. They're just good. I only have 7 games that won't boot. Well, 9 games because these 2 are so corroded that there's no help for them. I know you're probably thinking, hey, you just breezed past that whole section. When's the teaching going to start? Now, here is my order of operations to get a Game Boy game to start reading again, to start being read again. Anyways, Q-tip, isopropyl alcohol. Get your Q-tip nice and wet with IPA and stick it in there. Get a lot of friction going. Too much friction, and that should help. Stick it in, try it, nothing. Okay? Next step, take it apart. Open it up, get some IPA directly on the board, take your mom's toothbrush, just go to town. Probably wouldn't hurt to dry it up with a paper towel, both sides. Even though it's alcohol and it'll dry fast, you don't want to trap any moisture in there. And then just to test, you don't have to put the screw back on. And still nothing. Step 3. I know I use fiberglass pens a lot, but it really shouldn't be the first thing you try because its job is to make a bunch of micro scratches on these pins to get rid of anything that shouldn't be on there, like oxidization or just plain dirt. I recommend going back and forth like this, straight up and down with the pins, getting somewhere. Not quite there. We don't really want missing no to show up. Then you can try something that's going to be a little bit rougher. I'm not going to do it too much because it can be pretty rough. But if you buy the fiberglass pen set that I linked down below, it'll come with this pen too. And it's like steel wool, or it is steel wool. I don't really know. And do the same thing very lightly. It's going to be rougher, so don't do it too much. I recommend spraying alcohol on it. I should have done that there. Just be very careful. Still nothing. And the last thing I would try before worst case scenario is reflowing all the solder on these pins. Just flux it up all over, and every bit of solder you see, put some new solder down. And before we button this back up, double check that you don't have any shorts anywhere on any of these pins, any of the traces, anywhere. Because if you have a short and you plug it into your Game Boy, you can not only hurt the game, but you could also hurt your Game Boy. And if that still doesn't work, that's all the ideas I have. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, my audio got messed up when I was working on the stubborn bunch, so I'm just gonna have to explain what happened to the rest of them. Starting with this one that just worked no problem. I really don't know why it ended up here. And then obviously, these aren't coming back to life unless I swap all the components to a new board, and I just don't think it's worth it. I could make a new PCB for these, but I've never done that before. I don't know how to do it. And there's only a few boards out there that are already designed, so unless it's a Pokemon game, you're kinda on your own. Speaking of not worth it, I'm not gonna attempt to bring this fake cartridge of the worst Mario game back to life. I'd rather just buy another repro. Now for the more interesting ones. These 3 here had problems where they just went crazy in the menus and I could never figure out why. Until I was getting B-roll for another video and found that the L button was shorting, causing it to constantly press L. There was never anything wrong with these games. It was just the wire for the mod kit being pinched, and that's why I don't solder to test pads on GBAs anymore. I don't exactly remember what was wrong with Monopoly, but after reflowing all of the solder, I messed something up, and now the Game Boy won't even turn on when you have Monopoly in it. And lastly, this poor guy. I tried so hard to get this one working. In fact, I got it to work once, but never again. I reflowed all of the solder. Twice. I cleaned everything up a bunch of different ways, multiple times, and still not even a missing nail. Which sucks, because I really wanted to add Super Mario World to my GBA collection. Overall though, 95 out of 100 ain't bad. Especially when one of them was a repro, and only 2 out of 100 were corroded. Heck, I even got the Rusty Pin Sonic game to work with just a little spit shine. And as always, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. There's not enough room there. Later, guys. So what do you guys think? Did you like this video? Should I try this with DS games? Let me know in those comments down below.